During a House subcommittee on military and foreign affairs hearing Tuesday, Democrats were vocal about concerns over what they've seen from the Trump administration on the global stage. They cited Monday's UN vote siding with Russia against a resolution condemning the war in Ukraine, and comments made by President Trump accusing Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy of being a dictator.
Does this administration know who our adversaries really are, or who our allies really are?
President Trump's foreign policy has centered around advancing U.S. interests and achieving peace through strength. But Democrats worry it's at the expense of our allies.
Europe is not our enemy. We have similar goals, shared values, and most importantly, many decades of mutual trust and cooperation with the goal of global peace and stability. If our allies believe that they cannot rely on us, they will stop sharing critical intelligence. That is a threat to our country.
Republicans, meanwhile, blame what they consider Biden administration policy failures for emboldening our adversaries and putting both the interests of America and our allies at risk.
We see this in the Indo-Pacific, where U.S. allies question our resolve and adversaries probe our vulnerabilities. The previous administration's failure to respond decisively to challenges, whether in the South China Sea, the Taiwan Strait, or securing critical supply chains, has dissolved confidence in America's leadership.
Republicans also say the former administration failed to prevent the war in Ukraine, is responsible for the resurgence of Iran-backed terror organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah, and failed to secure the U.S. southern border.
President Trump is undoing the crippling policies of the Biden administration and returning the globe to peace through American strength.
Dr. Charles Kupchan, a senior fellow with the Council on Foreign Relations, says Trump has the opportunity to be a powerful agent of change for U.S. foreign policy.
Trump, if nothing else, is a disruptor who recognizes that it's time to go from the old to the new. The question that I have in my mind that I pose for the committee, is President Trump going to be only a demolition man who brings down the old order and leaves us standing in the rubble? Or is he actually going to be someone who brings us from the old to the new and builds an American grand strategy and international system that is better?
The Heritage Foundation's Brent Sadler warned lawmakers that to deter future aggression from countries like China and Russia will require a fresh perspective.
The focus on just readiness is a failure. Focus just on capacity is a failure. And focus just on some new capabilities and modern weapon systems is also a failure. We're in an and world. We have to do all three of those things if we hope to keep the peace.
Witnesses also talked about the importance of restoring the American people's faith in soft power as a deterrent. That would include foreign aid. In order to effectively wage that weapon, experts say the American people will need to see that their taxpayer dollars are no longer being lost to bureaucracy. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Washington.